What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Hey, you're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. I'm here with co-host Dr. Chris Demczar.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. And yes, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health conditions when you become your own doctor. And you know what? Today's conversation is going to be all about becoming your own doctor.
I love it.
Knowing your numbers, but more importantly, answering this question. So let me ask you this. So Dr. Chris Demczar.
There we go.
Why do I feel like crap?
Yeah.
But every doctor I've been to says they can't find what's wrong with me on my labs.
Your labs, yeah.
So, and this happens often too, doesn't it? Why is that?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go deep into this, but
We
just
are.
let's talk like just superficially, okay?
Well, as a chiropractor, we know how important it is to get to the root cause of what's going on. And I think most of the time when you guys are going to get labs done by a medical provider or for whatever reason, are those labs specifically looking at the root cause? They're looking at the root systems of your body?
No.
Or are they looking at just these numbers that mean that, oh, you had this much protein, this much cholesterol, this much antibody, and what do they really mean? And are they in a normal range or not? And so these are the things we want to dive into today, and I think are going to help provide a much better, much clearer explanation of how you can become your own doctor, how you can utilize labs, lab values, how to interpret them, and how to really view them, and then the action steps, right? We always talk about you have to take an action. So what are the action steps that then you can take so that you can better your health today?
And you know what? You hit the nail on the head when you said one thing. The ranges that they test and everything came back normal.
Right.
You're going to learn today
What
there's
is normal?
different ranges for normal.
Yep.
What even is normal? You know what's terrible today? It is normal to be sick.
Right.
It's normal for an adult to take an over-the-counter medication for this, that, the other.
Yeah.
It's normal for you to be on a prescription. I mean, right now, 2022, the average adult, and I say adult 21 and over, is taking 2.5 medications. Right. So
Isn't that crazy?
when did it become normal to be sick? Well, it's because everyone is sick, so we just look at it that way.
Yeah.
Did you know, you may know this, in the chiropractic profession, back in 20, 25 years ago, it was normal for there to be a curve in people's necks when you took x-rays. Today, however, the young chiropractors and even the medical doctors are being trained that a normal neck is straight because it's so common that you don't see the curved necks anymore. It's kind of like they've become extinct, and so they don't exist.
And you know, here's a really good example. I was looking through, it was on Facebook, and it was just showing these vintage photos from back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And it was people that were at the beach, and everybody was fit and in shape, and there wasn't a single overweight person at the beach at all. Today, you go to look at pictures at the beach, and it's the total opposite, right? But normality. See how the normality has changed even within 50 years.
How about this? So, you know, it's summertime. School is going to begin in a couple months. So my kids go to a private school, so we have to go get the uniforms. So we're shopping. I'm not going to name the names of where we went, but my son is 5, and the 5-year-old size pants, they're too big. And the waist is too big. So we try a 4. Now he's 5. A little too big. We go to a 3. The waist fits, but the legs are too short. And my daughter is 10, going on 11. Guess what? The 10s don't fit. The 9s don't fit. The 8 fits her waist, but her legs are longer than that. So it's become normal for these 5 and 6-year-olds to have bigger waists. Why? Because, I hate to say it, we're seeing, how do I say this? We're seeing mannequins that are slightly fat. We're seeing in Lululemon, I shouldn't have named the names. Sorry, we're saying in like the athletic stores, you know, these overweight mannequins are wearing. When did that become normal?
I know. And I just want to throw the opposite is true. I've seen in baby clothing, right? I was living in baby world for most of last year. And to see and I have a niece, she's a couple years old, and to see how baby clothes are much smaller than the size of the average baby. So I've seen babies that are looking to get, and I don't really know sizes, but let's just say that, you know, 3-month clothes, 3 to 6 month clothes, and you have a 6-month-old baby that's already wearing 1-year-old clothes.
Yes.
How did that baby grow that fast? That would lead to a lot of other health questions, right? In your mind, listeners should be going, well, was that baby being breastfed? Were they drinking formula? What were the things that they were doing? What kind of movement were they getting during the day? So there's a lot of other questions that can go into that, just to get you guys thinking.
But
So
again,
the
it comes
opposite is
back to
true.
this idea. Back to our topic. See,
Yep.
we got excited. I feel like I'm falling apart, but my doctor says everything's fine. The labs are normal. Nothing can be done because they claim it's all in my head, except for an antidepressant or some sort of like,
Yep.
hey, go lose weight, go change your diet. And how is this? How is it that our medical profession today, which is so brilliant and so educated and so technologically advanced, that when someone says, I'm tired, I'm brain foggy, forgetful, my hands numb and tingling, that they can't find it on their tests? And it's because of two things. Number one, they're not running the right tests. And number two, even if they did, the ranges are off. Okay, we got to be very specific. There are medical ranges, and then there's actual ranges, functional ranges. Classic example, vitamin D, the most famous of the widest range test on the planet.
Yep.
Okay, according to medicine, 30 or above, you're okay. And if you're under 30, you're just deficient. But it's a 30 to 100 range. So what are you at 40? Well, you're normal. 50 normal, 60 normal, 70 normal, 80 normal, 90 normal, 99 normal, 101 abnormal. Now, in the research, and I say research as in functional and even medical research, 50 or lower is considered deficient.
That's right.
So when someone walks into our clinic and we see 46, we're going to say, oh my God, vitamin D deficiency. No wonder you're fatigued and tired and your joints ache and your metabolism is all over the place. And they're going to say what? Well, my doctor said
it was fine.
I'm good at 45. Do you see the difference? And guys, is it every single thing?
Yeah.
It's for cholesterol, it's for blood sugars, it's for triglycerides, it's for your kidneys, it's for your lung functionalities. Heaven forbid you were to actually have a real health test done where we're looking at the strength of your immunity. Oh my God, the health of your liver, your intestines, your gut, heavy metals. They don't even have ranges. So imagine this. I was just, we did the thyroid webinar. And we talked about the clams. Remember that?
Yep.
So the cadmium, the
Clams.
lead, the antimony, the mercury. And most people have never been tested. So look, if you go to your doctor, MD, and you say, hey, I was watching this webinar by a physician, a doctor, holistic. I have a thyroid condition. I want you to test my mercury, my lead, my cadmium. You know how they're going to do it? They're going to draw blood out of you, and they're going to go like this. We don't see any. But what's the problem with running a blood test? Can you help tell us about this? Like, I go in the lab at 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning. I've been fasting since my dinner, and my labs come back and say everything's fine. Testosterone's good, cortisol's good, no mercury, no lead. What's the problem with that?
Well, that's just a snapshot. So you took one snapshot. That doesn't mean that your body wasn't doing something else at a different part of the day where it might show in the blood, because your blood is constantly changing over.
You know, I like how you said snapshot, because it made me think about, like, if I took a picture of you at 6 a.m. and you just woke up, and you haven't had a chance to shower, even change clothes or anything.
Right.
Hair is just, wah, and you're in your pajamas.
My messy PJs.
Okay, now, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when you're at the office, you've got slacks on, a dress shirt, you've done your hair.
That's right.
You're the same person.
No, I haven't changed.
But you look different.
But I look a little different.
Now, this evening, there's a dance, and you and your wife are going to go, and there's a black tie dinner event. So you're going to probably put on a tux.
Tuxedo.
And she's going to put on a gown.
Yep.
And you're going to look different.
Again.
But you're the same person, just the time of day determines how things look. So let's throw out an audacious statement. If you get your labs tested at 9 in the morning versus 2 in the afternoon versus 6 in the evening versus 10 in the evening, will they look different?
Absolutely.
So be extremely careful about saying, well, my doctor said my labs look good. I just went yesterday. What time did you go? Well, 8:30 in the morning because they wanted me to do it before breakfast, so I fasted. Okay, that was just for your sugars, just so you know. They just wanted your sugars to be red and under a fast.
Yep.
And did you have anything else tested? Well, red blood cells, my cholesterol, basic CBC, which is like 2 pages long. Okay, what's the problem with that? Well, there's like literally thousands upon thousands of biomarkers that could be assessed by blood work. And before you start thinking like, oh my God, I have to spend 10 grand to get my blood tested. No, but understand this. When you do a standard physical by your MD, it's your 50-year, whatever, and you're getting a colonoscopy done as a side, bonus. Hey, I'll take my blood work with a side of colonoscopy, please. Right? That is such a limited test.
Very limited, guys.
So like red blood cells, white blood cells, what your cholesterol looks like, maybe if you're lucky, your inflammatory markers, kidney functionality, and your blood sugars and your A1C.
Right.
Maybe a thyroid TSH. could you pass that and still be sick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so wait a second. So like I can have a perfectly functionally, according to my MD, labs are normal, and yet I can still be sick?
Yeah, well, oh my gosh. And as a holistic physician, I'm just going, wait, what about all these other things that I know we test for that you're missing? You didn't even mention them. Any of the antibodies? What about what's going on deep inside the microbiome?
Oh my gosh.
We know that 90% of so many different diseases are related to inflammation, and so many of the inflammatory processes that happen throughout our body are initiated because of some dysfunction in our microbiome. Where were all those tests?
Yeah, they're not being done. So look, if you say to us, I don't understand, I went to my doctor, I feel like my life is falling apart. I'm gaining weight, my hair's falling out, I'm cold all the time. Now I'm thinking thyroid, just so you guys know. Well, how about this? Yeah. My blood sugars aren't going down. I became a vegan and they got worse. My back hurts. I've got no energy. Like I tried to work out and I think I fell asleep on the treadmill. Like there are people that are like this, just so you guys know.
Yep.
I have this random rash that showed up on my skin, or all of a sudden I got all these white spots all over my arm. My skin looks like I'm becoming an albino. Guys, this stuff happens. And you go to your doctor and they run a basic test and he comes back saying, we don't know what's wrong. Now, medically, what they usually will do is say, well, like I'm an internist and this is a blank problem, gastric, skin, cardiovascular. We're going to send you to the specialist. And here's the thing, will the specialist sometimes run some special tests?
Yeah, they can. They will.
Yes, and maybe the special tests come back normal.
Again.
And then you go, well, now what am I supposed to do? Is there a specialist of a specialist? I mean, yeah, maybe if you went to like Duke and Mayo Clinic and
clinics.
Johns Hopkins. But guess what? You're going to go there and they might run a test that might be a little bit more specific, or sometimes it's a little deeper, more involved, and even then it can come back normal. And then you're stuck. Now, I think the number one thing you need to know is if you feel like your life is falling apart, if you feel like you have a health issue and your doctor says you don't, you need to recognize, number one, you're not being tested properly. I guarantee you for a fact you didn't get the right test. We've been doing this, 15 years?
Plus now.
Okay, number two, even if you did get the right test, the ranges are incorrect. And you more than likely have an abnormality that we would see because we're trained in the functional numbers that your medical test would say no. I'll give you an example. We're not going to name names, but we've had some patients who come in and their eosinophils are about 60% elevated. And their monocytes are elevated. And so what that tells us, even though the labs are normal, is there's an infection of some sort of either parasitic, fungal, or yeast-based organism. And the most common places for that are in the digestive tract and in the reproductive tract. So yet the lab was normal. How about this? When neutrophils, which kill bacteria, and lymphocytes, which kill viruses, are equal, that's an indication of an autoimmune disease forming.
Yes,
so you might be at 2.1 for neutrophils, 2.1 for lymphocytes, and your doctor says, your immune system is really strong. We would look at it and be like, oh my God, you're attacking yourself. So do you see? There's a challenge.
Right, well, and that brings up a really good point because, Dr. Ernst, if I hear you correctly, what you're talking about is not just looking at the individual lab numbers, sort of running this test A, B, and C. It's looking at the ratios and the relationships between some of these lab values, too, that can help dictate and determine what's going on at the deeper levels of somebody's health.
You want to talk ratios? The entire method of cholesterol is about ratios, not numbers. Look, listen. Could you have a cholesterol of 225, which is high, so it's going to be marked high, but have an LDL of 100 or an HDL of 110 and an LDL of 105 and be fine? Yes, because the total cholesterol is meaningless. The LDL number is meaningless. Technically, the HDL is meaningless because it's the relationship. What's total cholesterol to HDL? What's total to LDL? Watch this. What's LDL to triglycerides? What's total to triglycerides? What's the connection between the two of them? And heaven forbid, have you even had the sizes of your cholesterol particles test? Do you have lipoprotein A or lipoprotein B? And I'm just talking about cholesterol.
Right.
Guys, this is
That's
for
just one
every
molecule.
single major test that's ever done ever. And yet a lot of people, no, I've never had this. So look. We got kind of excited. We forgot to tell you all the fun stuff we're doing today. Well, I think it's because we're coming off the energy of the webinar.
That's right.
So I've been up since 4 a.m. We started the webinar at 10. It was fantastic. If you missed it, okay, you have an opportunity now to get access as a replay to watch it either today or tomorrow. And you're also going to get the giveaway we gave away. And then last week, we talked about the heavy metal cheat sheet.
Yep.
About how there's a test that you can literally take a little tiny bit of hair off the back of your neck, drop it in an envelope at your house, and get an answer of, do you have heavy metal toxicities? We're going to talk about heavy metals when we come back, because that's you want to talk about like, why do I feel like crap and my doctor says my labs are normal? You haven't been tested for toxins, heavy metals, your microbiome. So if you want to get the replay for free, if you want the ebook for free, take action. 704-906-2094. You can text your name and email. You can call them. And today only, we're giving you a replay access. Okay. Normally this is like expires. The webinar's done. It's done. Nobody else gets on. But we're going to open it up for the next 48 hours to watch the webinar and to get the ebook. 704-906-2094. That's a text with your name and email or a direct call. So I feel like my life is falling apart. I go to my MD. They send me to the specialist. The specialist tries a special drug or whatever. And now I feel worse. So like, we talked about this with thyroid. I mean, there are people taking thyroid medications for 20 plus years, still going like, I have to take it, but it's not working. Think about diabetes, right? Elevated blood sugars. They're taking metformin and glycyrrhizide and glucophage for like 20 years. And then guess what? Well, now that doesn't work, so I have to inject insulin now, and now I'm a type 1+2. You see this? Okay, so go ahead.
Well, so I like the thyroid example, and I don't think we got to talk about this in the previous Saturday webinars. So this is something that I can bring up really quick. Let's dive into the example that Dr. Ernst is talking about, right? You go get your thyroid tested, the standard lab test by a medical doctor, right? Your TSH is maybe a little bit higher. You have some thyroid hormones a little bit lower, so they put you on Synthroid or some sort of levothyroxine, some sort of thyroid replacement medication. After a couple of months of being on that, you go back and get your lab tested, and the thyroid hormone, it looks like it's gone up a little bit, but your TSH is still elevated, and worse, you feel terrible, right? All the symptoms Dr. Ernst was talking about, you still have.
Or watch this, all your numbers leveled out because you took the medication, and you still feel worse.
Yeah.
So now you're right back to what we just talked about. My labs say I should be like loving life and burning fat and tons of energy, and I'm actually worse.
It's funny, we always talk about having symptoms and being sick, but not having symptoms, but still being sick.
Yes.
And this is the case of the other extreme, where going from having symptoms, being sick, to having worse symptoms, but being told, no, you're
now
fine.
Being told your labs are normal. So it's almost kind of like,
awful.
It's this catch-22. They want your labs to look bad to show you, well, this is why you feel the way you feel.
Right.
Then they prescribe you a medication. This is going to make you feel better.
Yep.
Then your labs improve, and they say, do you feel better? And you go, no, I'm worse. And they go,
we don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Or, you know what, there's something else. Let's do more tests. Oh, you know what, your kidney, or, you need cholesterol, or whatever.
Right. They'll find something
Antidepressants. And then get this, watch this. When they can't find anything, and yet you still complain, and they're like, no, we've run everything we have. They'll say that you're making up your condition, or you just need to calm down. Like you need like a Zoloft,
right,
or a Xanax, a Wellbutrin.
You're stressed.
Lexapro.
You're so stressed.
You see all these? Cymbalta. There are so many antidepressants because they'll say, we can't find it. You must be depressed.
Yep. So let's lower the stress. Let's change now the neurotransmitters inside your brain, and maybe you will feel a little bit different.
That's
and then,
right.
We made a change. That was great, right? No. Okay, but I want to go back to the example really quick with the thyroid. So your numbers have leveled out, but you still feel terrible. Do you guys know how important iodide is in thyroid hormone formation and conversion, and selenium?
Yeah.
Do you guys know that the foods that you eat that contain those minerals then have to be absorbed into your digestive or through your digestive tract, into your body, and then your body has to be able to then send those up to be used wherever in the thyroid conversion process? How many of you know if your microbiome is conducive to be able to absorb iodine and selenium and some of the other important minerals just in thyroid function?
Heck,
how many?
How many of you have been tested for selenium and iodine? So again, thyroid patients, because this is the thyroid webinar this morning. You know what they say to us? No, it's
None.
just TSH, T4.
Yeah.
Watch
just my
this.
thyroid.
Diabetics, chromium and vanadium, the two most essential minerals that unlock your insulin receptor. No. Just my sugars and my A1C. Watch this. High blood pressure, right? Hypertension, arrhythmias, palpitations. Have you been checked for magnesium, calcium? Watch this. Phosphorus. By the way, when phosphorus is low, you know, the number one side effect is arrhythmias, palpitations, and chest pains. So what if you just didn't have your condition, but you had something functionally, and because your doctors run their basic tests and say we can't find anything wrong, you must think they are like, you know, oh, they're so smart, they know everything.
Yeah. When
in fact, you could know more than them.
Yep. And I know we've got a break coming up, but we got to get into arrhythmias because that one hits home for me, and we've got a lot. I've got a lot to say about that. So I think.
Yeah. So when we
after
come
the
back
break,
from the
I
commercial
gotta
break,
bring
I
that
think
up.
here's what we're gonna do. The most common conditions that your doctor's gonna say your labs look normal, and the best part is, what do you do to fix yourself?
Yeah.
What are the tests you should be getting?
Yep.
Listen, almost everyone flunks. You know why? Because they look for the real underlying issues. If you have a health issue that you're aware of, but your doctor says they can't find it, I guarantee you will flunk a functional exam.
Yep.
And you should be like, yes, I failed that test. You know why? Because now you know what to do. See, there are some people who actually say, I don't want to get my test because if it shows I have a problem, now I have to do something about it. That's the wrong mentality, guys.
And you know what's great about that is this past week, that was our entire mentality for some of the conversations we were having in the office with current patients. Why is it so important to do a re-exam? The same thing that
and
you were
to
just
know your
talking about.
numbers.
To know your numbers. You have to know.
And get this, to know the functional ranges of those numbers so that you can find the answers. So, hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst show. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere during this commercial break, and the call lines are open, 704-906-2094. You can also text your name and email. It's the free ebook and the replay of the thyroid webinar. We will be right back.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Hi, my name is Gary Greenfield with Greenfield Water Solutions, and I want to introduce you to our newest product, the MR500. It's a whole house structured water filter system. It's set up in an all stainless steel multi-round filter housing. It features inlet and outlet for the water, a bleeder valve for when you're changing out the filters to reduce pressure, and to remove the top for access to the filters, you simply open up the clamp, remove the top, and this plate here holds all the filters in place. Simple to remove. It comes out, and you can see what we have on the inside here. It's 5 Aquamedics filters and a vortexing tube and a harmonizer. That's the whole system. This is designed to filter 5 gallons per minute, and all of the contaminants that it does remove are listed on the website, which is a very broad array of contaminants. These are the highest rated filters that I know of on the market that are filter cartridges. They can be changed out yearly. And of course, the process is very simple. You won't have to hire a plumber to do a change out. And the filters are available from Greenfield Water Solutions. And if you want to know more about this, you can read about it on the product page or give us a call. Thanks for watching. That's it for now from Greenfield Water Solutions.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celliant Sleep Recovery. Our Celliant Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celliant technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celliant infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celliant. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celliant has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celliant Sleep Recovery products today. Celliant. Recycle your body's energy.
To bring you the best natural wine the world has to offer, we've designed a fully curated membership program. Every selection you receive is different and unique. Every wine is picked by our wine team, lab tested for purity, and curated into a special box for your enjoyment. So how does the membership work? We offer 2 main options, a half case of 6 bottles or a full case of 12. You can request all reds, all whites, or a perfect split of both. Then you can set the frequency, monthly or every other month. We offer a similar simple membership for rosé and sparkling wines. After you choose these basic options, we'll do the rest. With every box we send you, we aim to present the greatest diversity of flavors, textures, and profiles. There's a healthy mix of the classics, but also rare varietals. We do this because natural wines taste different from their commercial counterparts. We want to share the best possible experience with you, so you can discover new wines you love. And you can always reorder a wine that took your heart, or ask us to avoid certain profiles. The best part is, you don't need any wine knowledge to fully enjoy these boxes. We curate our selections to be enjoyed without worry. Ultimately, this is Dry Farm Wines. We are so grateful to be able to share the power of natural wines with you.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, along with co-host, Dr. Chris Demczar.
Great to be here.
And hey guys, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. And today, we continue this incredible conversation Why do I feel like crap with my health, yet all my labs are normal? How is it that my doctors, MDs, or PAs, or whatever you want to call them, can't figure out what's causing my issue when I have had all the exams that they offer and everything's coming back normal? How is that possible? And we're going to talk today in this segment about the most common conditions that result in labs that look normal.
Yep.
And what are the tests then that you need to do?
I know.
Because if your doctor doesn't run them, how do you find out? And we talked about this kind of at the top of the hour. Heart disease, diabetes, thyroid issues, my goodness, even digestive issues. There are so many things that affect people. Pain, my God, that you can discover the actual underlying root cause and flunk a test finally. I know it sounds weird to say that.
I know, but you want that.
And like, because think about how many people are like, yay, I went to my doctor at 62 years old and he said I've got a clean bill of health. And then at 62 and 30 days, and they have a heart attack and die.
Yep.
Okay, it's happened over and over and over again. Or, again, my doctor said I have a clean bill of health and all my labs are normal. And we go out and we celebrate the youthfulness at 68. And then next year, what? I have stage 3 cancer? How did you not? Last year, look, clean bill.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Sometimes things show up later on. So we're discussing that. And listen, the call lines were buzzing all during the commercial break. Good. We're giving away the copy of the ebook Against the Thyroid, How to Fix Your Thyroid, because today was the thyroid webinar. And we're extending an offer, a 48-hour open window for you to watch the replay. See, if you didn't register up to today, technically you wouldn't be able to get on the webinar. But we're going to just open it up like this. Poof. And if you were like, gosh, I really want to see that. Okay, it's not just about thyroid, guys. It's about weight loss, about energy. It's about your mind, your focus, your attention. And when you finally have it click in your brain of what we talk about week in and week out, it's for everything. It's for your diabetes. It's for your heart disease. It's for your psoriasis. It's for your eczema. It's for your whatever. If you have a health issue, I know it's going to sound strange, being on the thyroid webinar replay is going to give you the answer as to what you need to do to fix your health condition. And I'm just going to tease you with that because, you know, in medicine, there's one cure. No, there aren't. There's actually thousands of cures, and there's thousands of treatments, and there's thousands of diseases. But in functional medicine, watch this. There's one cause and one cure for thousands of conditions. Because it really comes down to just one thing. Why aren't you healing? Why are you not correcting yourself? And if you can find the answer to that with your labs and fix that, all else follows.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because we can run, you know, and we don't just run a standard set of tests on every patient.
No.
We have, everything is so specific and customized, and we have to constantly change and update and add in and maybe not really ever take, I don't know if we ever take things out, but just add in so many.
Well, chelation would be to remove. Hey, real quick, somebody's texting in on Facebook that I forgot to mention how they get the webinar and the ebook. 704-906-2094. You can text your name and your email, or you can call it right now, and boom, we give you the ebook, and you get to watch the replay whenever you want, today or tomorrow. It's active for 48 hours. So we started our radio show at 3 o'clock today.
Yep.
So you have till what? Sunday at 3 o'clock? Monday at 3 o'clock. Boom. Monday, 3 p.m. You won't be able to watch anymore. So take action now, guys. Right now. 704-906-2094. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Nope. I love
Thanks,
it.
Mary.
We've got to share the message. We've got to keep sharing the message. Okay. So, you know, we can do any number of specific tests to help figure out what's going on specifically with your health. Guess what? The pathway to that, there's only one pathway for you. There's only one pathway for you to heal. There's not, you should go and see this specialist and then try this, and then go see another specialist and try this. Why? Why are you just gonna, that's like gambling. You're just throwing the dice out there and hoping it's gonna land on something that's gonna be successful, allow you to win. You shouldn't ever do that with your health. So I would say, you know, and of course I know how biased we are, but if you haven't gotten tested and you haven't done the specific test needed to find the root cause of what's going on with your health, you need to start thinking about that today. So when Dr. Ernst talks about, hey, get the thyroid ebook, because that's not just information about your thyroid, it's information about the action
test.
steps that you can take,
Yeah.
the tests that you can do, to then figure out the root cause of your health, to find the one pathway, there's only one, guys, and nobody will ever be able to convince me otherwise. Now, can that pathway have some curves in it and change a little bit? Yes, but there's only one pathway to you getting healthy.
And how about this? That ebook has all the tests, how to read the tests, and even the cheat sheets. So you don't need a doctor to be like, well, this is what this means.
Right.
We literally gave you everything. Okay, so let's talk about what are the tests. Okay, if you feel like your life is falling apart, if you're taking a medication but your doctor says your labs are normal, if you're losing your mind and your labs are normal, if you have a health condition and your labs are normal, if you've never even run a lab and you feel like you're healthy, but you wonder deep down, why am I really? Like, I've got this family history. My dad had this and my mom had this.
Yep.
The doctors say I'm okay now because I'm only 28 or 30 or whatever. What are the what if tests? There's 3 classifications of exams that we think you should get done regularly.
Yeah.
And I say at least once a year. And what are those? So let's start with like the numero uno test. Like if you could only afford to get one test done, like you only had enough money for one test, what test would you get?
Yeah. The test, I'm going to come in, I'm going to find a very subluxation-based chiropractor, right? Subluxation is that word for when the nervous system isn't firing signals properly, and I'm going to go ahead and get the neurological testing side done.
So
number 1.
In that exam, okay, this nerve exam for subluxation, and it's a big word. Let's digest it, okay? Sub means under or less. Lux, light, energy, power. Ation, think nation. A collection of states comes together to form a nation, like the United States of America. All the cells of your body come together to form a nation called you. So if you have less light in your body, less power, it would mean that there's an interference in the chemical electrical signaling system. Okay, it is electricity, guys, and that's your nervous system. Now, how do they test that? You go to a subluxation base. Now, I think it's fascinating you said that, because if you go to a medipractor, what I call them, are they going to do a subluxation exam?
Absolutely not.
So what is the difference? I go into a medipractor, and I'm saying this with love, guys. There's a lot of chiropractors that listen to our show. We even have patients that are chiropractors, and they say stuff like, so Chris, why are you here today? How can I help you?
Yeah, my back hurts, and I figured I'd come see you.
Okay, so if your back hurts, we should probably adjust it. But before, let's just do an exam. So I'm going to feel around in your back. I'm going to have you sit up and kind of, check range of motion.
Yep.
I might take an x-ray. But, there's really no need for an x-ray for you, I don't think. Like, you didn't come crawling in.
Yeah, I don't think I have any, there's no past history of anything major, no major accidents or anything.
Yeah, so, it is radiation and ionization. So I want to try to save you from that exposure. Okay. So I'm just going to palpate your back. We have something called thermography, though, so we can see if there's any heat coming off. No radiation, just so you know. And if we see something that's red or hot, then it means that's what's causing your pain. Make sense? So let me do this scan real quick. Okay, see that red area at L4? Mm-hmm. That's the problem. That's causing your pain.
That's the hot spot?
Yeah, so see how it's on the right? Yeah. So I'm going to adjust you on the right. We're going to do a nice release to your back, and your pain should go away. Okay, so let's try this.
Sounds great.
Okay, that's a medipractor, guys. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll say, let's put some ice on your back first. Let's put these E-stim pads on your back and kind of numb the nerve issues. Yep. Let's put you on a rolling table called intersegmental traction. And I'm not trying to knock this stuff, right? If you want to do it, it can help. But
there could be a specific purpose and very limited uses. Right, but it's never getting to the root cause.
It'll help the pain to go away in the immediate now. Yeah. Okay? And then they adjust you with whatever technique, okay? And then you leave going, it does feel better. And they'll probably say, why don't you come back in 2 or 3 days just so we can check it again and see how it's doing. And if it's, it slips out or if it hurts again, we can adjust you again. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds amazing. Sign me up.
A subluxation-based chiropractor is going to do this. Ready? So Chris, what brings you in today?
I've just had back pain for months now.
Wait a minute. You've literally had pain in your back?
Yeah.
Oh my God, for months?
For months.
Okay. Do you realize that the only way you could have pain in your back is if a nerve is damaged?
Really? No, nobody's ever told me that before.
Yeah, now it could be muscles and ligaments. You may have torn something, so I don't know what's causing your back pain. I think you want to figure that out, though, correct?
Yeah, I'm here to try to get to exactly what's going on. Okay, I can't take this anymore.
Now, before we do this exam, I just want you to see this. The nerves that come out of your back also go to your intestines, your adrenal glands, your kidneys. They also control your reproductive tissues. Like, this is way more than just pain.
And why hasn't anybody told me this before?
Well, you've probably been to a medipractor or you've been to like a medical doctor. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
need to
I've done that.
teach you some things first. Are you okay if I teach you first?
I'm open to it.
Okay, now watch this. If I pinch a nerve like 5%,
Mm-hmm.
did you know you can't feel that?
Really? No, I had no idea.
20% can't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
50% you might feel that.
Yeah.
But the nerve, when it's pinched, is decreasing a signal, not increasing. See, pain is an increase.
Okay.
So if I squeeze a nerve hard enough, how much pain would you feel in your back? None.
Nothing.
Now, if you have pain, you know what that tells me? There's a massive problem. Something way deeper than just pain is going on. So are you okay if I do an exam that looks for kidney, adrenal, gastric, potential causes of your back pain? We're going to go
of course.
so deep that we need to find what's causing it.
Of course.
Okay, so before we even do any therapy, we're going to do a thermogram. Now, oh my God, look. Okay, see the right side, L4, L5? That is not where your pain is coming from. That's the nerve that's hot, swollen, and inflamed. So it means that something's going on in your spine. I have no idea what that is, though. We have to take an x-ray. Like, this is an absolute. It cannot be not missed.
Okay.
Because the only way to see the nerves and see the spine is to take an x-ray. Would you agree? No, I mean, I could do an MRI, but that's going to cost you $1,900.
Oh,
And
wow.
an x-ray is, $150.
Right. Yeah, I'll take the x-ray.
Okay, so let's go do the x-ray. Now, the x-ray is taken, and we see a 32% compressed bulge disc, and we see arthritis and stenosis. Now, so Chris, I've got bad news. You have arthritis and a disc that's literally bulging. No wonder you're in
Wow.
pain. But watch this. The bulge is hitting the L4 nerve, and
Okay.
that goes down your leg, which is probably why you may have some pain down your leg, but more specifically, lower colonic area, colon, and the adrenal gland and the kidneys. How's your energy been lately?
Super low, but I just feel like it's because my back pain's been so bad that I just figured that's why.
Yeah, but you know what? If your adrenal system, adrenaline, is compressed because of the nerve damage, your body can't secrete the energy hormones you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I never
Out
thought
of
about
curiosity, like any digestive distresses, like gas, bloating, diarrhea, nauseous?
that. I just figured that was all normal.
Yeah, so again, do you see how the nerve that's irritated is causing more than just your back pain? So listen, I can adjust you today and make your pain go away. Or I can adjust your spine so it gets realigned so that not only does the pain go away, but then your organ functionality comes back. Your kidneys will improve, your adrenal glands will improve, your digestion will improve, your overall outlook on life will improve, and as a side effect, your pain goes away.
That sounds way better than just getting my pain.
Okay,
away.
so that's a subluxation-based chiropractor, guys. Now, that's just the start. So they have to get x-rays of their spine. They got to get a thermogram.
That's right.
Now, what else do we do on a new patient exam? We do something very special. We invested like 10 grand into this scale.
Yep.
Now, it's not a scale that you just hop on like, at your doctor's office where they, pull that little bar down and say you're 72 inches tall and they do like you weigh 116 pounds. What does this scale actually do?
Yeah, so this scale gives you, goes way deeper, gives you very specific, we'll call it metabolic measurements. It's a metabolic scale. So it's going to go in and find out exactly how much water you're holding onto. It's going to talk about, and it's going to give information about your fat content. And not just, you guys know that fat's not all created equal. We have fat in different parts of our body. The fat that we have underneath our skin is different than the fat that is around the internal organs, like your intestines and your stomach and your pancreas. So,
And which of those is the most dangerous?
so it's called visceral fat. The visceral fat that's deep inside your body around those internal organs, right? Having too much of that is deadly. So the fact that this scale can differentiate between that is so powerful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other measurements, but what's really cool about it is it gives this age. It gives you a metabolic age. And how many of you guys listening think that your metabolic age should be the exact same age as your biological age?
You know what? I bet you they don't even know what a metabolic age is. So let's define it. I was born in said year, and today is said year. Therefore, I subtract the two dates. That's my chronological age.
Biological, yeah.
But the inside of my body, the tickers of my heart and how many times it's beat, the strength of my immune response and how many times my cells have turned over, also has a clock. And there was a great physician, I think his name was Heidenberg, if I remember right, who found out that you actually have an internal age called your metabolic age.
Yep.
So now you have your inside age and you have your outside age.
Sure.
And should they match? Like, what if I'm 48 and my metabolic age is 48? Is that good?
I mean, no, that's going to be average. I mean, and who wants to be average? You want to be healthy. Your metabolic age should be less.
So what if I'm 48 chronologically, but I'm 58 metabolically?
That's a huge indication that there's some disease process going on.
Now, what if I'm 48 chronologically and I'm 38 metabolically?
That's amazing. 10 years?
So you guys
Oh my
have
gosh.
hold on. You actually have a scale I can stand on that will show me how old I am on the inside?
That's right. It will give it's a simple test that gives a quick and accurate picture of what's going on the inside. It represents it as this metabolic age, but it's a really easy way to say, hey, do you have some disease process going on in your body that we need to address?
So if I feel like my life is falling apart, my medical doctor said my labs are normal, I'm probably going to hop on that scale and see I either equal or I'm older
than
metabolically.
your chronological.
I'm going to have
biological
higher
age.
levels of visceral fat. I probably have heat coming off my spine with a thermogram and my spine subluxated.
Right.
So that was the most important. Now, if I have a little bit more money and I wanted to go to layer 2, what do you think would be the most important layer 2 test?
So, well, the next layer would be some of the very, very, very specific labs that we do. And we don't just do one set of labs. And we don't just do blood labs because those are great. Those are needed. Those are specific. We get pages back of data, guys. Different points that relate to different parts of
And
your
I'm
body.
talking like, okay, the average medical exam is 2, maybe 3 pages. Like if you combined all the reports, we're looking at 25 to 30 pages of results.
And why is that so important? Like Dr. Ernst was talking about with the ratios, we can't just look at the numbers and say, oh, well, you just this, and this is off, so we have to do. No, it's all about how does this number, the ratio of that number relate to the ratio or the number. So how does A relate to B? And then how does B relate to C? And how does A relate to C? And it's looking at that from a holistic, total view to then figure out exactly what's going on, not just with that specific process, but with that larger organ function.
So again, you got to go deep, and running a blood test functionally is going to look almost exactly like, I understand, I just went to MD, like they sent me to LabCorp 2. Why are you doing? Okay, 2 vials through them, 7 through us. Okay, 2 pages through them, 9 through us. Why? More biomarkers, more functional ranges, and often we need to see, okay, if they said yes, what would we say with our ranges?
Yeah.
Then you have the even deeper one, microbiome testing, epigenetic lifestyle testing, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, cofactors, toxins, heavy metals. Now you might be thinking like, holy cow, this is going to cost a ton. Yeah. But we have done something now since 2011 where we give it all away at just the raw cost we have. Okay, if you're like, how do I get that? Okay, and I need help. I've been listening to your show for 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years. I need help. How do I get an at-cost exam? 704-906-2094. You're going to text your name and your email, and ready for this? You get the ebook that we just wrote with all the cheat sheets and the guides for reading these tests. You get access to a 48-hour window to watch the webinar we just did today. Is it on thyroid? Yes. But I have diabetes. Why should I watch that? You didn't catch what we just said. It's the same test no matter what condition you have. The outcome, the path is different, but the testing is the same. Okay, the thyroid webinar is going to show you how to fix a thyroid. Have we done a diabetic webinar? Yes.
Of course.
Have we done a heart disease webinar?
Of course.
Yes. Have we done a weight loss webinar? Yes. Have we done an autoimmune webinar? Yes. If you want to replay to a webinar specific to your health topic, 704-906-2094. We're opening the vault, if you will, of webinars. You text in your name, John Smith. You text in your email, john@smith.com, and you text in your condition, diabetes. My team will send you the most recent diabetes webinar for the next 48 hours. You can watch it. And in that webinar is the offer to have the at-cost exam.
That's right.
Like, you don't understand how important this is.
Yep.
These tests through your MD or your insurance would be $3,000 to $4,000. All we do is I pull out my credit card. I go like this. I buy them for you. We put your name on them. We ship them to you. You get the test run, and we can connect with you.
That's right.
So let's give them a summary. I don't feel good. My doctor says there's nothing wrong. What should I do? Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yeah. Step 1, guys, come in and we have to start with the functional exam. So we have to start to see what's going on with the master control system of your body, your nervous system. Step 2, you're still saying, oh, but there's got to be more to it. And guess what? We're going to start to find that because we're going to start, some of those functional exams are going to lead to say, hey, is there some sort of metabolic disease potentially? Is there some sort of toxicity disease? Is there something else going on with a specific organ? We're going to start to figure that out from the functional neurological testing.
Yep.
And then that will lead you and us down the pathway to say, well, this is why we have to do the lab testing. This is why we have to do the heavy metal testing. This is why we have to do the metabolic testing. And then once we get that taken care of, that creates a total picture of everything that we need to do. We can lay out the pathway to help you start to heal. We give you the answers. You will know what to do.
Did you notice the difference? All the terminology is you.
Yeah.
Now we can help you run the test so you know the cause of the problem and you know what you need to do. So again, 704-906-2094. Man, there's a lot of people texting in. Okay, first name, last name, email, condition. 704-906-2094. And you know, there was something that you kind of said that caught me just during this last second. When you figure out the root cause, it is this liberation sensation. I mean, you would be amazed how many people come in to see us in our clinic and go, oh, thank God you actually found something. And it's that sense of hope that now you know you're not crazy.
But then we have to go to the backside of that too, because initially there's that sense of hope, but on the backside, guys, it's the liberation, it's the freedom that comes with actually achieving and obtaining results because you're now in control of your health.
And you now know that you're not alone in this.
Right.
You're not just wandering around going, maybe I think there is something wrong with me, but there's not. No, we find the root cause, we show you what to do to fix it, and then you get to be the liberator of your health. We say it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free because you are the doctor, technically. Now, we got to teach you. We have to educate you. We have to show you what you don't know. And that's the hardest part, but it's the easiest thing to do. 704-906-2094 is the call line. Again, thanks for joining us today. We are giving away that replay feature of any webinar specific to your condition today only. 704-906-2094. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week. Be blessed. Until then.
Bye.
Bye.